chair up a little bit. That seems like extremely low. Be depressing. Yeah. Couple of fundamentals before I start the presentation. Okay. What communicates when we're, let's get everybody, come on in, find a place to settle down, and let's stop moving around.
You need the board?
That's fine. No, I don't need the board. Okay. Okay. Are we all settled in? No, we don't need the board. Okay. Okay. Grab that. So it's good that we just figured out. All right. Let me grab that.
Is he doing it
Watch
with you?
your head, Charmaine.
Just kidding.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we got that all done. All these devices need to move. Okay. Okay. So, what was I at? Okay, what communicates to people?
Body language.
Body language is the most important thing. What's second next to body language? Tone of voice, right? And what's the third one? Come on, you guys, this is fundamental. Body language, tone of voice, and then content. Content is last. Okay? So, what does that tell you? When you sit down with someone, your body language speaks volumes. Your tone of voice speaks volumes. Doesn't mean that you need to yell, but you need to actually believe what it is that you're saying. Does that make sense? They don't have to believe it, but they have to believe that you believe it. You guys follow me? You guys follow me on that? Okay, we are okay. So that's one. The second thing is this: people do business with who they like and they trust. People do business. You could say all the right things, but if I don't feel a certain way around you and you don't write this word down, you don't connect with me, I'm not going to do business with you. I got to connect with you. Okay, so those are fundamental things on your presentation. So your ability to build rapport. Okay, so this is Justin. Justin has never saw an opportunity before. I decided to grab one of the guests from downstairs. I said, come on upstairs. We're going to do a one-on-one. Justin works down at Bank of America. He's a personal banker. He was prospected by Evelyn, prospected him. He's also a singer. He sings. What's that? Saxophone. You hear his voice. He's got a deep voice and everything. Justin has the same name with my son. So the minute I met him, I said, Justin, oh, my son's name is Justin, right? So we started talking. So Justin, what have you heard about our company?
I haven't heard a thing.
You haven't heard a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few minutes and I'm going to go over this brochure with you, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our company and who it is and what we do. Okay? So it's only going to be like 4 pages. It's not going to take that long. We're obviously in the financial service industry. It's a $63 trillion industry. So it's a very big industry backed by a $543 billion company. So our parent company is by the name of Aegon. Aegon's the company that bought Transamerica. Okay. What we did is we brought a new idea to an old industry, and our goal is to revolutionize that industry. So when you take a look at a marketplace, take a look at the baby boomer generation from 1946 to 1964, you had 76 million babies that were born during that time. Okay? 92% of the women who could have a baby at the time did. And the average had 4 children per person. So that was twice the birth rate. And if you take a look at the baby boomer generation, America's wealth, they control 70% of America's wealth. So if you look historically, the baby boomers have moved the economy. Okay? 58% do not have a financial advisor. So 58% of the 76 million people don't have a financial advisor. And the average lifespan of the baby boomers is still 90 years. Right? Now, when you look at this, 39% fear, 39% of the baby boomers, they fear dying. 61%, their biggest fear is outliving their money. All right? So there's shift of personal responsibility when it comes to financial services. Traditional sources of retirement income, pensions, social security, and personal savings. So financial education is extremely important. So spend now, income balance, and save for later. So the challenge is financial education. So if you take a look at the states that require financial education in high school, there's only 4 states that require financial education, while 37 states require sexual education. Isn't that amazing?
That's the truth, yeah.
Right? So one of the concepts we teach, and you probably know it as a personal banker, is the power of compound interest. Albert Einstein called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world to show how powerful your money compounds. So, for example, if I had $1,000 lump sum and I was getting a 5% rate of return over that 70-year period, that $1,000 compounds to $30,000. If I was getting a 10% rate of return, it compounds to $789,000. If I'm getting a 12% rate of return, it compounds to $2.7 million. So understanding compound interest is extremely powerful. Matter of fact, it's mathematically impossible for you to achieve financial independence if you don't understand compound interest. So here you take a look at the average investor's returns. The average equity investor underperforms the S&P 500 by an average of 3.96% over the last 20 years. They underperform for 1, 3, 5, and 10-year periods. So there's 2 concepts that we talk about. One is passive management. That's the buy and hold theory. That means that you're buying a stock portfolio or mutual funds or whatever the case may be, and you keep it for a long period of time. The other one is active money management. Active money management is usually offered to more affluent families. So most of your big financial firms, if you have $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, you will have access to this kind of management. We have access to it all for our consumer. Now, here's our actual product. Our actual product is the financial needs analysis. So remember I said that we brought a new idea to an old industry. So what we did is we said, what we're going to do is we're going to target the 80% of the population, which is the middle class. What we offer them is a free financial needs analysis. The financial needs analysis covers 6 different areas. The first area is cash flow. A lot of families that we sit down with, they need to earn additional income and manage their expenses. So like for me, when I first got started here, I had spent 13 years in the military. I was a gunnery sergeant. I was making $3,500 a month. And I lived on base, and I got medical and dental. And the need for me was I wanted to make an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month so I could retire my mom. So I wasn't making enough in the military, but they offered me an opportunity for me to make part-time income. The second area is debt management, where we teach families how to consolidate their debt and also strive to eliminate debt. Most families don't have a game plan to get out of debt. The third area is proper protection, to protect us against a loss of income. So when it talks about insurance, you have term, universal, whole, variable, equity index, universal life. Now the challenge is that most people don't really understand the purpose of life insurance. So our approach when we sit down with family is an education approach because we have access to all the biggest companies. So through the biggest companies, we move the products of the biggest companies through the financial needs analysis. The next one is asset accumulation, where we show them how to outpace inflation, minimize taxation, how to get a better return, how to actually understand the tax implications of where you put in your money. The fourth one is emergency funds. So like for me, I was making $3,000 a month. So what we teach families is that you should have at least 6 to 12 months of your income saved. So in the event that you lose a job, or maybe you're in sales, you're not having success, you have at least 6 to 12 months of your expenses saved. And the last one is estate preservation, where we can reduce estate taxes and build a family legacy. This financial needs analysis we provide for families complimentary for free. What we did was, because we're dealing with the 80% of the population and we brought a new idea to an old industry, The feeling that we wanted the families to get is this. This is the first time that someone actually sat down with me and asked me what is it that I was trying to achieve, and was able to put a financial game plan together for me to show me exactly how to achieve those goals with some of the biggest companies on Wall Street. So if you take a look at some of the companies we're aligned with, Western Reserve, they're owned by Aegon, Pacific Life, you've seen their commercials if you watch golf. Nationwide spent $1 billion last year just on advertising. See all their commercials. Pacific Life spent $80 million last year just on advertising. So, but their products are usually tailored towards the more affluent clients. So when we went to all these biggest companies, we said if we had a system that can bring the community to you, could we utilize your products? And they said yes. So the same products that the affluent families have, we can offer those same products to the average American family. So here, if you see, more people need advice, but there are few advisors to provide that advice. And the needs for new advisors is critical. It's about to get massively critical. So there's so many people right now that need financial education, and that's what we do. Our mission statement as a company is to help people around the world achieve financial independence with a cause of no family left behind. On the investment side, we have access to some of the top investment firms for the active money management platform. So most of these companies right here, if not all of these companies, in order, let's say, for example, Justin, you won the lotto tomorrow. Now you got $400 million, right? Now every big financial firm now knows who you are. So they're going to call you, Mr. Justin, we need to sit down with you. Why? Because you have money, right? So what we did with all of these companies, we says, look, we want to give you an opportunity to put your products on our shelves because we have a marketing company and we control distribution of the middle class families. They said, yes, we want to be on your platform. We said, underneath one condition. We want you to drop your minimums from $1 million down to $25,000. So I want you to imagine this. The average American family that we sit down with, they now have access to the products and the companies that only in the past the affluent had access to. That's pretty cool, isn't it? And so there's three opportunities as you sit here. I want you to think of three things. One person sees this presentation, they go, wow, I'm not really interested in the opportunity to make more money, or whether on a part-time basis or a full-time basis, but I like for someone to sit down with me and provide me with a free financial needs analysis. That's option one. So they're looking at it from a client perspective. Option two was someone like myself. I love being a Marine. I was going to be a Marine for 25, 30 years. I wasn't dissatisfied with my job. I actually loved my job. But what I was looking for is I was looking for a part-time career where I can make money on a part-time basis. So I got started part-time, and I did it for about 11 months part-time. And then I started making more money on my part-time opportunity than I was making at my full-time job, and then I transitioned full-time. Okay? The third option is someone that sees it from a full-time business opportunity. They might be frustrated with their job. You know, the different markets have different challenges. Real estate's having challenges right now. The mortgage industry is having challenges right now. The debt industry is basically out of business. The health insurance industry is having challenges. And also unemployment's at its highest right now. So some of the people that see this, they go, wow, I'm looking for a full career change. And I didn't know that there was a company like this that exists. From what you saw, Justin, what intrigues you the most from these three options?
Wow. I mean, two, I've always, looking for other opportunities. Always just trying to look to increase my income. Number one is always a good option, though, that I was thinking of because, like you said, there's only 3 states that are requiring financial education. So that makes a majority financially illiterate. So there's most definitely an opportunity. Um, so right now, I would have to go with number one to get everything in order.
Okay.
And then try to prioritize time to see what number two is about.
Okay, perfect. When would be a good time that I could sit down with you and I can do a personal strategy for you?
Well, because I work full time, anytime after
Okay.
6:30.
So today's Tuesday. Where do you live?
I live off of Slauson and Crenshaw.
Okay. And you work downstairs. Okay. Can we schedule a time? What time you get off work?
6:15.
6:15. So why don't we do 6:30 tomorrow night here?
That sounds good.
Okay, perfect. Just hush. I think I know that. Okay. So we'll do 6:30 here. What I want you to do is that I want you tonight when you get home, if you have any kind of financial statements, if you have any mutual funds, 401ks, life insurance, are you married?
I'm not.
Okay, you're single. Okay, so if you were married, I would require for you and your wife for me to sit down with both you and your wife. Since you're single, when you go home, anything that you have, any mutual funds, any 401ks, any IRAs, any life insurance policies, I want you to bring all of that stuff with you. And tomorrow, when you get here tomorrow, what we're going to do is I'm going to actually sit down with you and I'm going to gather all your information.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you some very specific, direct questions of what it is that you want to achieve. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that information. We're going to schedule another time where we can meet. And then I'm going to take that information and I'm going to put it through our software and it's going to print out the financial needs analysis. I want to kind of show you what that looks like. The financial needs analysis is going to be your financial game plan. Okay, it's going to be what we call your dream map, your financial roadmap. Here's what it looks like.
This is that complimentary thing.
This is complimentary. This is going to be done for you for free. So here is we're going to show you. See, a lot of people they make money, but everything that comes in goes right back out. So you're going to know exactly. There's going to be an accountability for every dime that comes into your home. Okay, so here you can see, for example, your income, $328,000. Is that your income? No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
of course.
I'm kidding, right? But you'll see your income here, you'll see your expenses here, and we put it in a beautiful graph right here, so that way you have total accountability of where your money is going. And I'm gonna identify, and this is gonna be yours to keep, and we're gonna identify what goals that you have, and then I'm gonna put a plan together for you to implement that plan. Okay? Now, my homework tomorrow, once I meet with you, once we gather that information, we're going to do this complimentary for free. The only thing that I ask you, I have two specific questions for you. One, if I could put a plan together that totally works for you, and you be the sole judge of that, do you have any challenges at all becoming my client?
If you were able to do that for me, would I have any challenges? As far as becoming your client, in what respect? I guess
If once I gather the information, and then you tell me, Dan, this is what I want to be able to do. So, for example, how old are you?
22.
Okay, you're 22. So let's say you said to me, Dan, at the age of 50, I want to be able to work because I want to, not because I have to. I want to be totally financially independent by the age of 50. Okay, so you might say to me, I want an income of $10,000 a month at the age of 50.
Okay.
So like for me, let me give you an example. I was 33 when I had one of these done. My plan was I was going to do 20 years in the Marine Corps, and when I retire in the Marine Corps was going to give me 40% of my base pay. So my base pay was $5,000 a month. So 40% of $5,000 is a $2,000 check gross, right? My net income from that was going to be $1,700. So the reality is I was going to get out the Marine Corps, get a $1,700 check, and I was going to go work another job for 20 years.
That's not cool.
You follow me?
Yeah.
So when someone sat down with me and did a personal strategy, they showed me that if I start saving a certain amount of money now, when I reach retirement and I'm getting 40% of my base, I can have an investment vehicle to offset what I'm going to lose. You follow me?
I do.
And so the most important thing for me was to implement that plan. So what we're going to do tomorrow night, we're going to identify what your goals are, because everyone's goals is different. But once we identify the goal and I'm able to bring the solution, my question to you is that will you be willing to implement that plan?
Yes, I would.
Okay, perfect. The second thing that I have for you is this. We don't knock on doors. We don't do cold calls. We don't send out flyers. We don't buy leads. Okay? So how we grow our business is through word of mouth referrals. So what I want you to think about is every single person that I sit down with, the general feeling that they have after I meet with them is this: wow, everyone I know needs to see this.
That's kind of, it is wow.
You follow me?
Yeah.
So what I want you to think about, the people that you know that will see value in seeing this information. So referrals are really, really big. So we work in a warm market referrals and very authentic referrals because you're generally excited about what we did. So my homework tomorrow is going to be to create your strategy, to identify, see, it says personal financial strategy. It's a financial needs analysis. My homework is to be able to find out what it is that you're trying to achieve, and I'm going to put your game plan together. Your homework is you're going to think of 5 to 10 people that you know that's in this area that can experience the same thing you got a chance to experience. Does that make sense? So I'll do my homework and you do your homework.
All right.
Okay,
Good.
perfect. And then once we do that, then I want to sit down and I want to talk to you about the opportunity because I think you'll be great at the opportunity. Okay?
All right.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
All right. You guys seen that?
Yeah.
How long was that? 19 minutes? 20 minutes. Okay.